Now we're going to sometimes in literature also. Sometimes in literature. Now look at element of literature. Element of literature. Element of literature. Literature has elements. For you to be a good writer, or to be a novelist, or to be a poet, or to be a playwright, there's some element that you must understand. Number one is the plot. The plot. Number one is the plot. The plot tells us or explains the storyline of an action. How the story goes. How the one that comes first, the other will follow. So this tells us the storyline of an action. How the story goes. It tells us the storyline or how a story is developed. Storyline or how a story is developed. And we have two types of the plots. We have types of plots. Types of plots. One, we have organic plots. We have linear plots. Linear or organic plots. This is a kind of plot used, or a kind of plot whereby there's one story leads to another story. One story leads to another story. From one event, one event leads to another event. From one action, and that one follows. That's an organic or linear or organic plot. It's a kind of plot used by writers in a way that one event leads to another event. It is a type of plots whereby an event leads to another event. The second one is episodic plot. For the word episode. Episodic plot. This is kind of plot used by writers in such a way that as the story is going, some short stories will just fall in. This writer, Professor Chinua Achebe, is fond of using this kind of plots. If you have read his books, The Life of Things Fall Apart, No Longer Artists, Arrow of God, and so on, the story just be going, just come across an old woman with her grandchildren telling them stories. So we say that kind of plot is what? Episodic plot. Let's say some of our Yoruba films. A film, an action you be going on, just come across Baba Suwe, Denjo, and Latin. They just feature, just coming, crack joke, and they will remove and the story will continue. That's called episodic plot. A kind of plot whereby some short stories come in between the story line. It's a type of plot The second type, this plot, second plot, second type, the second element you're looking at is the characterization. Characterization. Characterization, these are the characters used by writers to express their mind. These are, if I say these are vehicles, at least they are the people with the cars, the actor, or the people in the work used to express their mind, to pass across messages to readers. So these are the people, these are the people used by writers to pass across their messages. Now we have types of characters. We have types of characters, types. We have types of characters. Types of characters. Number one is the protagonist. This is the leading character in a work of art. The main character, the leading character in a work of art is the major character. And the leading. This is the leading or major character in a work of art. Number two is the hero or heroine. The hero or heroine. The hero is the major male character in the work of art, while the heroine is the female leading character in the work of art. Hero is the male leading character in the work of art, while the heroine is the leading female character in the work of art. Hero is the leading male character in the work of art, while the hero is the leading female character. The third one is the antagonist. The antagonist is the character who works against the main character in the work of art. The main character is the protagonist, while the antagonist works against, he or she works for the downfall of the major character in the work of art. It is the character that works against the main character in the work of art. The next one is a clown. A clown. A clown. Number 4. The clown is a character whose actions always cause laughter in every art. At times, the characters or the actions could ease the tension going on. In a Yoruba film, we have people like Mr. Latin, people like Baswe, people like Denjo. The end time, they just come on stage, people will laugh. They are clowns. So we call them as jesters, but they are known as clowns. This is a character whose actions make people laugh. Number 5, other types of character is the foil. This is a character who has opposite character of the protagonist, but does not work against the protagonist. It only has opposite character of the protagonist, but it does not work against the protagonist. The protagonist is a good boy, he can be a bad boy. I mean, he's brilliant while he's dull, but they are never against each other. You only have the opposite characters of the leading character. It is a character that has the opposite character of the leading character. The opposite character of the leading character. Number 6 is around character. This is a type of character that changes as the event unfolds. As the story continues, they change based on the situation of things around them. The right character is a character that change. It is a character that changes as events unfold. The last one is static character. Static character is a character that can never change. No matter what happens, they remain the way they are right from the beginning of the story till when the story ends, they remain the same way. They are flat character. We call it flat or static character. So they are the same, either static or flat character. So you come across that in books, you could come across flat, you come across static. They are the two make the same character. It is a character. That never changes. Regardless of what happens. Now we are still back to the element, the main topic there. No, it is all this one under the characterizations. We are going to the third element of literature. We have looked at the plots. We have looked at the characterization now. We have looked at, now I'm going to the theme. The theme. Let me say subject matter first. Subject matter. The subject matter is the totality of the story written by an author. Totality of the story, be it drama text or the prose work, the totality of the story is the subject matter. For instance, a book title, Things Fall Apart. Go. The sixth element I want to explain now is the narrative technique. Narrative technique. Every writer has a way of writing. We have our style and a way of writing. And in some books, you have what? Narrative technique. Some books act as what? Point of view. The two are the same. Let me just slap it. Point of view, or narrative technique. And we have two major. This is the way a writer writes his or her works. Now there are two major types. We have the first person narrative technique or first person point of view. This is a way in which a writer writes. And the writer is what involved in that write-up. How do you know that that kind of work of art is first person narrative or first person point of view? You will come across pronouns like we, I, we are going, I am going. In that case, in that situation, that kind of work of art is written from the first person narrative technique or point of view. Take note. I said there are two types. We have the first person narrative technique or first person point of view. This is a way in which the writer uses what the writer is involved in that kind of work of art. Two, he uses what? Pronouns like we, I. That's okay. While the second one is the third person narrative technique or the third person point of view / omniscient point of view. Why it's fact is that this work of art, this technique uses a writer in the work to express his message. In that case, you have pronouns like he, she, they. Then the omniscient that is like it, omniscient is also similar in the sense that the writer writes as if he knows everything. It has in a way as if he knows everything that goes on in the mind of the reader. But how do you know it's third person? The writer uses a character in the work to pass across his message, and he uses the pronouns like he, she, or they. Let me write for you. It is a way by which writers choose to write their works. I said types. I have types. 1. First person narrative. Technique or point of view. In this situation, the writer gets him or herself in the story, get himself or herself involved in the story, and pronouns like I and we are always used. There is a book titled Purple Hibiscus by Chinua Chimamanda Ngozi. That book is written from first person technique view. The second one is the third person. Third person narrative. Technique or point of view. Or point of the writer uses a character in the story to pass across his or her message. And the pronouns like he, she, and they are always used. So take notes when you read books, because as time goes on, the more you go, you come across, you have to analyze text. So these are things, all these elements are what will help you in your analysis. We'll be stopping here for today. See you in the next class. God bless you. Stay tuned.